One of my favorite things to cook with is rice. I mean, I'm a carb lover through and through, but it helps bulk up a meal. And there's so many different things you can do with it. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Okay, so you may have made like a cheesy broccoli, chicken, rice casserole before, but have you ever just made a cheesy broccoli rice as like a side? That's what we're gonna do today. It's very simple, and I'm really excited about it because it has cheese, and the broccoli is really broken up really well. It's gonna be good, so let's do it. Okay, first things first, I need to steam this broccoli. So I've got just this one, is this a floret? I don't know, crown? This is a crown. So I'm going to chop this up, and I'll chop it up more once it's steamed, but we're gonna get it over onto the stovetop to steam so that we're ready for the next steps. I'm gonna place some water in this pan. A very sweet subscriber sent me this. She ordered something from Caraway and they accidentally sent this to her. They told her just to keep it. They didn't mean to send it to her, but she didn't have a use for it because she doesn't have this particular pan. So she sent it to me. And now I have this steamer basket that's meant for this, which is great. So anyway, I'm gonna throw my broccoli in here and put some water in here. Got my water in there. I don't know if you can tell. Let's add that on top. You know what? I haven't messed with this, but I'm assuming, yup. This is my first time using it. How cool is that? A big thank you to Seed for sponsoring today's video. For 6 months or so, I have been taking Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic in the morning as soon as I wake up, and I've been loving the results. If you don't know what I'm referring to when I say symbiotic, it simply just means it's a probiotic plus a prebiotic all in one capsule. I've heard so much talk over the last few years why it's important to take a probiotic and a prebiotic, but you've got to make sure that you're taking one that will properly deliver all of the benefits to your system, and that's why I love Seed's DS-01. Taking their symbiotic has more benefits than just for your digestive health. It also promotes heart health, supports healthy gut immune function, supports healthy skin, and it supports natural production of important vitamins like B9, B12, and folate. So why should you choose Seed's DS-01 over other brands? Because of their 2-in-1 ViaCap delivery technology. There is an outer and inner capsule, and they made it that way so that the live probiotics, which is in the inner capsule, will actually make it to its intended destination and isn't wasted or absorbed before then. So you are gonna get the max benefits. With your first order, you're gonna get a refillable glass jar with your first month supply, as well as a travel jar so you can easily take it with you if you go on vacation. Once you near the end of your first month supply, Seed will automatically send you your next month's supply in a home compostable bio-based pouch. That pouch keeps oxygen and moisture out, so you just rip it open, dump it into your refillable glass jar, and you're good to go. Since I started taking Seed's DS-01, I have noticed a change in bloat ease. I've also noticed healthy regularity, and my skin is looking great too. I can tell if I miss a dose, which is why I now put it on my nightstand along with my water, so that when I wake up in the morning, I start drinking water and I immediately take my Seed DS-01 at that point too. So if you're interested in trying Seed, click the link in the description below and use code MANDY25, and you're gonna get 25% off of your first month's supply of your Seed DS-01, plus you're gonna get free shipping. So you'd think after doing YouTube for about 6 years, I would realize I need to check my mic before I hit record, but I forgot. So I'm gonna do a little voiceover here just to kind of tell you what's going on. Now that the broccoli is starting to steam, I just need to shred some cheese, and you can use whatever cheese you'd like. I'm gonna be using a combination of cheddar cheese, and then I've also got some mozzarella cheese in the fridge, and we'll just kind of use those in combination. You need a cup to a cup and a half of cheese. It's been about 5 minutes and my broccoli is completely steamed, so I'm gonna turn it off and remove it from the heat. And I just need to go through and just finely chop all of the broccoli up so it's really small little bite-sized pieces that's gonna mix into the rice. I'm gonna use the same pot that I just boiled my broccoli in, and I'm just gonna put in about a tablespoon of olive oil and then a cup of rice. My rice has just been rinsed, so it's quite wet, but we're just gonna let it kind of saute here in the olive oil for about a minute or so before we go in and add in our 2 cups of chicken broth. So basically, we're just cooking this rice like we normally would, A tip that I always have is if you're just making plain rice, you can make it just a tad better by, instead of using water, you use chicken broth. So that's all we're doing. We're gonna let this come up to a boil, and then we will turn it down to low and cover it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Every time I look at her, she cries. Do you want some cheese? There you go. Proof, I gave her cheese. Okay, it's been about 16 minutes. Let's check on this and see if most of the liquid is absorbed. It is. Oh yeah, we're good. So let's turn this off, and we're gonna remove it from the heat, and we're gonna add in all kinds of good stuff. Firstly, we're gonna add in a couple of tablespoons of butter that has cheese stuck to it. It's fine. We also need to add in our chopped broccoli. We're gonna add in our cheese, a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a teaspoon. Okay, let's throw in a little bit of salt and pepper too. We're gonna pop the lid on that and let it sit here for 5 minutes or so, just to let that cheese melt. And then at the end, if we think that it needs a little bit of milk to change up the consistency, then we can do that. But let's give this 5 minutes. Oh, that's hot still. Let me stir it around and see if I like this consistency or if I would like to add a little bit of milk. Oh my word, this looks so good. Can you see just the cheesiness of it? Oh my goodness, the strings of cheese. I may add just a little. You know what, do I have heavy cream? Girl, we going. You go big or you go home. I'm gonna use just a tiny bit of heavy cream. That looks, as Stephen would say, fit to eat. So why don't we do that? Just waiting on Stephen. He said he'll be here in just a second. I just like shoved that bowl up my nose.
Man, it smells good. Yeah. Like it really smells good in here.
My mouth is watering.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't tasted it yet.
It just like hit me as soon as I came in the kitchen.
Yeah, well good.
You ready to tinky tink?
Yeah.
Let's tink up.
Tink.
I didn't say tink. Tink. Man, that just, I don't know. There's something going on here.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, that is amazing. That cheese in that, I don't know what kind of cheese that is, but that is incredible. I love broccoli casserole type stuff. Mm-hmm. This is not a casserole, obviously, but kind of reminds me of that.
Man, this may be my favorite way to do rice.
Delicious.
It's so easy, man. That's delicious.
You can't have no more of mine now. I have to make my own.
He's so rude.
I love these little paddles. Just gonna paddle that thing right back in there. Man.
You
did good.
I did do good.
I gotta go outside and get me a drink though.
He's not like going out to the water hose.
We drink from a spigot out there. That's where we get our water from.
We have a drink fridge on the porch. We keep our poppies and our sparkling waters in there. So that's what he's talking about. We don't, that way it doesn't crowd up in here. But that's what he's talking about. When he said, I gotta go outside and get something to drink, he did not mean he gonna go drink from the water hose.
Let me know in the comments
if you ever done that.
When you was little, you used to drink from the hose pipe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, who didn't? Did you?
Didn't have time to go in.
No.
And Grandmom didn't want you tracking in her house either.
Right. And if you went in, Mama might give you some chores or something to do.
Oh, man.
So.
Yeah, you didn't want to be caught not doing something.
Yeah, so you just drank from the hose.
What you doing? I'm busy. I got stuff to do outside.
I love some cilantro lime rice. So when I saw this recipe online, it just takes it to the next level. This is avocado cilantro lime rice. It says to make this with brown rice. Brown rice is not my favorite. So I'm just gonna make it using white rice. So the first thing I need to do is just cook some white rice. So I'm gonna cook it like I normally do with some chicken broth, do 1 cup of that. And once it's done, we'll get started. Our rice is cooking. I've got my cilantro here. I just have a small handful of it. I'm going to chop it up. Are you team cilantro or no? I know some people say it tastes like, is it soap? I think the fresh ginger that they give you with sushi tastes like soap. I can't eat that. but I love me some cilantro. Let's slice this lime. And then we also need to go ahead and mash up this avocado. So it is perfectly ripe. At least it feels like it. It's not too mushy. It's not too hard. It's just right. So I'm making half of the original recipe just because I didn't want that much rice. So I'm just using 1 avocado. So let me start by mashing this. It doesn't want to mash. Can you cooperate just the slightest little bit? I love avocado. Recently, my favorite little lunch is a half a cup of cottage cheese, a half or a whole avocado, and a whole hard-boiled egg. And then I just put salt and pepper on it. It's a good protein lunch and it fills you up. So good. Now let's add in some lime juice. I think the recipe says 1 tablespoon of lime juice, but I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna just do this whole lime because I want to. We're gonna add in our cilantro, tiny little bit of cumin, like tiny little bit. Don't want to overpower it. And some minced garlic. Again, a very small amount of this. Let's mix all of that together. Our rice is cooked. We're just gonna pop it over here. We need about a cup, maybe a little more. So I won't put all of this rice in here. That should be good. And let's just stir and get it all incorporated. We're gonna turn our rice green. You know what? This would have been good for St. Patty's Day. Some green rice. Okay, I ain't mad at this. That looks delicious. But we're about to try it. Oh, I need to salt and pepper it. A little bit of salt. All right, commentator, you want some more?
Yeah.
Come on.
Will the second one be as good as the first one?
We shall see.
Wow. Man.
Oh my stars.
Good avocado, but then there's like some citrusy flavors in there.
There's lime and cilantro in there.
Yes.
This is like guacamole rice.
It's like guacamole rice.
I'm renaming this. That's what this is
Oh,
going
wow.
to be. Guacamole rice.
You know what I want right now?
What?
Some hot sauce, but like hot salsa. That is good.
You want some more?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's as good as the first.
Yeah. They're both very different.
It's hard. You can't really compare them.
No.
But they're both excellent.
They both are excellent. That is for sure.
What are you doing?
I'm getting more. Have you seen me?
Okay, y'all got to make both of these. Oh my word.
That's good right there.
I'm going to make another one tomorrow that I think is going to be really, really good too.
I'm looking forward to it. You
That's
know,
it.
this is making me want tacos for lunch tomorrow.
Well, there's a place right down the road you can take me. That's it for today. But I'll see you again. For me, it'll be tomorrow. For you, in just a second. Let's make some more rice, shall we? Today, we are going to try some mushroom rice. Seems really easy, has a lot of great ingredients, and I think this is going to be so tasty. Okay, I've got this pot that I'm going to heat to about medium high. And we're going to add in about a tablespoon or so of olive oil and let that heat through. While that is heating up on the stove, I'm going to slice some green onions for the very end. I'm also going to chop up some parsley. I don't need a lot of it either. And then lastly, we just need a little bit of onion, not a lot. That's probably going to be plenty. I am cutting this recipe down because we've had a lot of rice over the last day or so. So I'll have the full recipe linked below. Let's head back over to the stove. We are going to saute about half of these mushrooms here in this olive oil. So I'm just going to saute these for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And now we're just going to remove these and set them to the side. Let's add in a tablespoon of butter and another tablespoon of olive oil. And to that, we're gonna add our onion that we chopped, as well as a little bit of minced garlic. And we're just gonna do that until it's good and translucent. Let's add in the rest of those mushrooms, and we're just gonna cook those until they are good and sauteed.
Looking good.
In the neighborhood?
Look at those flavors in there.
I'm telling you what.
I'm gonna add some mushrooms.
Yeah.
This house is going to be smelling right.
Okay, I'm not using quite a cup of rice, about 3/4 a cup. And then I've got some vegetable broth. I'm doing about 1.5 cups of that. If you've got some brown bits on the bottom, you'll want to deglaze by just pouring in just a little bit of this to start with. I don't really have any brown bits on the bottom, so I'm just going to pour in all of it. I'm also going to add our chopped parsley at this point. This reminds me of the soup that you get, or the broth that you get at the Japanese restaurant before your meal. It's not the parsley that's usually in there, it's usually green onion, but that's what that looks like. Just like glancing at it, that's what it reminds me of. I'm waiting for it to come up to a boil, and then as soon as it does, I'm gonna put the lid on it, turn it down to low, and let it simmer for about 15 minutes until all that liquid is absorbed. We still have these original mushrooms that we browned. They will go in at the end, as well as our green onion. It has been 15 minutes. Ooh, oh, you're welcome. Cool down, please. There we go. Look at that. Would you look at that? Okay, hold on. The liquid is absorbed. Great. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove it from the heat. Let me turn this off. We're gonna take those reserved mushrooms. Ooh, it has some juice. And the sliced green onion. We're gonna stir that in. We're gonna cover it and let it sit for another 10 minutes or so. Steven should be here in a few minutes. He's in the middle of work. This is the middle of the day, so I was interrupting him by telling him there is rice ready. However, I did want to tell you, Cole tried it, and he's not a huge fan of mushrooms, and he loved this. So that's always a plus. Tink. Even though it's a vegetarian thing, because, I mean, we even used vegetable broth, it tastes so hearty and meaty because of these mushrooms. That is phenomenal. 10 out of 10. If you like mushrooms, you're going to love this rice. I just took some to Steven because he ended up being on another call, and I don't think he was expecting that. So I just took him a bowl. I will put here on the screen his rating. A little reminder to go check out Seed. If you use the link below in the description box and use my code Mandy25, you're gonna get 25% off of your first month's supply, plus you're gonna get free shipping. Thank y'all for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye.